got that friend group, right? Like, or at least you've got those people at your school who have like that friend group, and they all kind of sit at the same lunch table. They probably all hang out outside of the school, and obviously in friend groups there's beef, right? Well, I was one of those kids that had an enclosed friend group. We didn't really talk to anybody else. If we didn't have a class with each other, you were probably just the quiet kid in that class. And we really had just 6 people, sometimes 7, really depending on like the one person that was like in or out on certain things. We had this friend group, and I was a part of it, and there was some beef going down. There was some heavy beef going down on it wasn't really spoken, but like we had problems with who was like the leader of the friend group, which sounds so cringy. By the way, this was like 4 years ago when this story takes place, and we were kind of been arguing for a while now, and it's more like who has like the best like disses on each other, or who's like the best at video games, because we were like a nerdy video game friend group, and it was just us like 6 guys, and then like one of us had a girlfriend. It was like, he has a girlfriend, and so we'd sit there and we'd been arguing for so long now about, just who's like the leader basically, and it's whoever's just the funniest that day is like the one that we all listen to. We all like, you don't really like diss or anything like that. And it eventually got down to a point where one day I was in an Xbox party with 3 of these other guys, and I was just listening to this argument, and he's like, dude, you can't even, or you're so stupid, you're like flunking this class or whatever, and they're like arguing about who's the smartest, and like they're just picking at each other. And eventually, I guess it got so heated, I wasn't really paying attention. We were all playing Minecraft, which is hilarious to me. I wasn't really paying attention, but I guess it got really heated, and one of the other guys was like, you know what, fuck you, and he left the Xbox party. And he apparently walked over to that dude's house and started arguing with him in person. And he almost started like beating him up, but he just slammed the door in his face. And I guess the guy who got mad was just outside for like 2 hours, just like staring and like so pissed, which is really creepy, come to think of it. And I'm not really friends with that guy anymore. But then he got back on, he started to argue with him on Xbox, and they blocked him on everything, like social media, after a couple hours. And then they blocked him on everything. And at the next day at school, we had all assumed that it would just be another big argument at the lunch table. But it was more than that. It was a lot more than that. So eventually what was happening is it started as an argument, and we were all like, oh my god, this is going on for too long. And this was really abnormal for it to last like 2-3 days. So what eventually happened is they started arguing. We were all really paying attention because that's the only interesting thing that happens at lunch. And the guy who had went to the other dude's house stands up, looks at him, and slaps him. I don't know why he slapped him instead of punching him, but he did. And he slaps him, and the other dude just looks at him kind of in disbelief, because none of us had like actually like hurt each other, like gotten in a fight before. Obviously we've all like had sleepovers and like messed around and stuff, but like none of us have actually like ever even really gotten in a fight in general, let alone with each other. So, and the other guy's just kind of like in shock, and the other dude slaps him, and he's like, you don't do this, or blah blah blah, and you don't talk to me like that, and I'm smarter than you. And that was like the big course of the argument. Like the repeating theme was like who was smarter. And eventually the other dude just kind of like breaks out of it, and he's like, you just hit me. And I shit you not, it's like a movie. He jumps onto the table, because we have like those like the regular school tables, and he like puts his feet and he jumps on the table, and he like backhands him, I guess. It was like a shitty punch. And he like backhands him, shitty punch, whatever. And the other dude like, oh my god. And then at this point, a teacher has already started like running over, and the other dude gets down from the table while the other guy's got his hands up, and they start like fighting each other. And this is kind of like what destroyed our friend group. But they started like beating each other up. The teacher separates them. They're both tiny dudes anyways. And they separate them. And that was probably the funniest fight I've ever seen, because just their form, and they were both super tiny dudes, so they were like skeleton, like Minecraft skeleton moving around. It was really funny. But yeah, that's really the whole story. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.